What's up? What's up? What's up, YouTube? Back at it again in the garage. Just doing my thing, trying to get what I can get done, and what I can't get done, I'll catch it the next time. Just wanted to stop by real quick and give you a quick update on a few things I've done to the 71 Chevelle build that I got going here. Been making a lot of progress, but it just still seems like I have a lot more to do. Got my engine in, 4L60 transmission, all that dialed in. I just finished measuring for my drive line, so I'm gonna have to get that. I got to find the proper or the correct U joint for that drive line, because the drive line actually came with the engine and the transmission, and it doesn't necessarily match up with the rear end in the Chevelle. So somehow I got to do some measurements on that U joint or the rear end side and try to figure all that out, which I have no idea. I've never done that kind of stuff before. Watching YouTube videos, talking to a few people about how to measure it and so forth and so on. But still, when you do it, you want to make sure that your measurements are right. So when you take the driveline in and you give them the measurements, you don't get something that's not quite right. Then you got to start all over. And the one thing I hate doing is doing stuff and then it's not right, and then I got to take it all apart and start all over again. That just irks me. And that's one of my challenges. Is I like to, when I'm working on something, I like to finalize it. I like to know that it's done. I don't have to go back and deal with it anymore. But anyway, that's what I'm working on next, is getting that drive line dialed in. And then after that, I should have my Terminator X Max harness. I'm going to get the X Max because I want that whole computer unit, Terminator X, to control the engine as well as the transmission. I don't want any external computers running anything. I just want that one unit to run everything. So I'm getting that. That'll be here pretty quick. Then once I get that, then I'll get my American Auto Wire done in. That'll be my first time doing that. My first time doing all this stuff, really. But I'm just doing what I can, when I can, and how I can. So yeah, that's where I'm at now. But anyway, I think the last time I put a video up, it was about not only the engine but also the 2015 Camaro seats that I put inside of here. And again, if you got to go look at the other video if you want to see how that actually looks. And I had attempted to show how I put the bracket system in there in order for me to get those seats in there. Because, man, listen, it took me like maybe 2-3 hours to get just the driver's seat in. But once I got the driver's seat in, then the rest of the seats actually kind of went pretty smooth. Passenger seat was a breeze. Driver's seat was difficult because I was trying to get the seat lined up with the steering wheel. So that just took a little challenge. And I actually got some good tips and some good information from another YouTube follower or YouTuber that I follow quite often. As a matter of fact, a lot of some of the decisions that I've made working on this 71 Chevelle have been just watching some of his videos and some of the things that he's done, which has really been a huge help. And that's Mr. Griffin 23. If you haven't already watched his videos or subscribed to his channel, you got to get over there. If you got a Chevelle, man, you definitely want to get over there. This guy is building his Chevelles from the ground up. He's got a lot of videos, a lot of content on almost every stage. He's got a 71 that he shows almost every stage of his build. So there's a lot of good stuff you can get from him. So again, if you're building a Chevelle, then you definitely want to get over there, subscribe to his YouTube page, and I guarantee you he'll help you out. So I just want to just real quick give you a quick update on what I had to do then to get these seats in my Chevelle. Again, the bracketry here for the front seats, I got from Mr. Griffin when he was doing his front seat. He's got a Chevelle as well, and he put some BMW seats in his Chevelle, and some Camaro seats in the back. But the BMW front seats are all electric, just like my Camaro seats are all electric. And he had to do the same, or he did the same bracketry system in his car. So I kind of watched his video, saw how he did his, and said, you know, ain't no sense in me trying to recreate the wheel. So I did the exact same thing to mine. Maybe just a little bit different, but pretty much, you know, pretty much the same. I don't know how exactly, because he doesn't show the full extent of how his was done, but he does show what he needed to do to get them mounted in there. I know with my driver's seat, man, it was a pain. It was a pain. It took me a while to finally get it locked in, but once I got it, it was good to go. So let me flip this camera over and show you what I got. All right. So if you can see right here, I got the driver's seat out because this is going to be the easiest one to show you. If you look over at the passenger seat, it doesn't have any brackets. It's not sitting on any brackets. It sits pretty flush, pretty straight in the passenger tunnel over there, straight, you know, in the window there. So it's all good to go. But over here on the driver's side, because of the steering wheel here, I had to, I couldn't just set the seat, you know, here in the middle because it was too far over, closer to the transmission tunnel here. And it was offset. So the seat, when you looked at it, it looked like it was crooked. I put it in there. It looked fine. But then when I went and looked in from the front of the window, looking into the car, man, it looked like the seat was on the left, the seat was on the right, steering wheel was on the left. And I said, no, I can't go out like that. So, and then I even got in, man, and I sat down and I put my hand on the steering wheel to try to see how it felt. And when I put my right hand on the steering wheel, it was like I was stretching to get my hand on the steering wheel. So anyhow, make a long story short, I took it back out, and like I said, I saw Mr. Griffin make these same little channels for his Chevelle when he put his BMW seats in. So I just kind of mimicked that. But anyway, you can see right here, that's one of the, and I got my this kill mat over it because once I was done, I just wanted to cover it up because my seats, my carpets are going to be on top of these. I'm not going to put mine on top. I think Mr. Griffin has his on top of the carpet. I wanted to put mine under it just so it's not as noticeable. But anyway, this is the bracket. It's just basically 3/4 inch square tubing, and this stuff is solid, man. It ain't going nowhere. So I drilled a hole through here, all the way through the tubing, put a bolt all the way through, washer in the bottom, and cinched it in, and it's not going anywhere. And then I use these. You can see I can take this screw out, and I use the rivets right here with 3/16 screws and put inside of here, so then I can just line my hole up over here, put my screw in, and she's good to go. But I had to make that bracket, and mine's is covered up, so if you want to actually see how this bracket was made, go to Mr. Griffin 23's YouTube page, and he gives more of a detail on how he made his bracket. But the bracket I was able to slide over to the edge of here, which allowed me now to slide my seat track all the way over as close as I can to the edge of here, which I had to do the same thing over here in the back with the bolt here, and the track slid over. Instead of going straight, I went at a kind of an angle. You see, this one kind of goes at an angle, and that one there is straight. This one here is at an angle because I wanted to use that existing bolt in the floor pan here. So this is locked down to that existing bolt in the floor pan. This one, I think actually I do have it in the existing bolt in the floor pan. And then I got the rivet in there. Same thing over here, rivet over here. Now this one over here, you can see it's just a little bit, it's probably maybe 1 3/4 inches high. A whole 1 3/4 inches high. It looks high when you're looking at it, in the camera, but when the seat is in here, you can't even see it. So once the carpet is over it, you won't even see that there. But I did the same thing here, but on this one here, because it was a little bit longer, and I had to make it a little bit longer because I got a 1-inch square tubing on the bottom, and I'll show you why I had to do that. And then I've got a 3/4 inch tubing here on the top. So now I got the 1-inch tubing with a hole right in the middle that goes all the way to the floor and is bolted down to the frame of this frame rail. See, so both of these, the front one here, it's actually still on the frame rail that goes all the way across from across the floor pan. Same thing on this one here. It goes it's bolted into the frame rail, of course, because it's in the bolt here. This one here is actually doing the same thing. But on this one here, again, I got a hole in here, bolted down to the frame here, or to the frame rail, the floor rail rather, not the frame rail, but the floor rail. And then I've got these two bolts here bolted down through that. Then I've got my one rivet here at the top to hold it. I wanted a little bit more support on this one just because it was a little bit higher than the other ones. So yeah, this thing ain't going nowhere, man. It's pretty darn solid. And then again, so this is what I had to do back there, like I did here. I made a bigger hole here. Again, this all came from watching Mr. Griffin's video of how he did his. Made that hole there to access the bolt that's down inside of there that's going through the floor with a socket. I can put a socket in there now and tighten that up. And then of course I've got the bolt in over there. So yeah, man, that's how I got the seats in, and now it's perfectly lined up over the steering column. It sits good. All the power works and everything. When it's completely set all the way down, it just barely touches right here. I mean, just barely touches right there. But then here in the back, I put the back seats in, and you can see here, I had to, the bottom seats that sit in here, you can see I made this bracket here. I'm not quite done with wrapping it. I'm going to wrap it and all that. And it's still kind of loose. I probably could tighten it up, but it ain't going nowhere. It's just going to be holding the front seat down. And probably once I put this skill mat over it, it's probably not even going to move at all. But I bought these right here. These are just a regular Camaro seat clamps or hold downs or whatever they call them. I bought them from offline. There are factory for the Camaro bottom seats. I bought those there. Then I took that same tubing and I cut a little slit in here, not too big, but just enough to get this. And I hammered that in with a socket and a hammer, and just tapped in to make sure it's nice and tight. And that bad boy's not going nowhere. It's in there. I can still get it out because it's open over here on this side. So if I want to take it out, I just put my socket there and a hammer, and I just tap it back out. And I had to do that a few times because when I was putting these in, sometimes when I went to go put the seat down, lock it into place to see if it would work, it was just tight coming back out. So tight that when I pulled the seat up, you could see inside of there is that black clip that actually holds it and locks it into place right there. Those were breaking. I couldn't figure out why they were breaking. So what I end up doing, and I'll show you right here. Here's the seat right here. Here goes the seat right here. What I end up doing is right here on the front, you can see right here, this piece right here, focused here. This piece right here, I end up shaving some of this down. Just shaving it just a little bit because I thought maybe when this was going into that clip that holds it down, when I went to pull it back out, it was a little bit too big or something, and it would just break the clip as I was coming up. So I shaved a little bit down. Now I could clip it in, it locks into place, and it pops out, fairly easy. It's not breaking them anymore. So I think just shaving that piece there just a little bit allows it to slip out of that locking mechanism in there a little bit easier. So that's that there. And then, of course, on these cars, they have this little pull down for the door. I got that lined up there, so that's all working there. So I can lay it down, and same little clip right there that Mr. Griffin used on his. And yeah, she locks back in. She's stuck. She's good. She's good. So yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Just still plugging away on what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna be making my own package tray here in the back, which is gonna be nice. You can see this thing. They sit up about 1.5 inches, maybe 1.25 inches high, but that's all good. I'm just gonna put like maybe a little. When I build my package tray here, I'm just gonna put maybe like a 1/4 inch or inch piece of square wood across there to kind of lock it into place, and then maybe even fiberglass that, so you won't even see that. It'll be sitting flush when the package tray is in there, and it'll come kind of from here. It'll come down. I have it come at an angle, kind of. I put a speaker here, one in the middle, one on the other end. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Just stop by and just give one quick video here. Well, that wasn't really quick. I'm like 15 minutes into this thing. But yeah, just letting you know what I got going, what I've got done here. It's coming along. Hopefully here within the next week, man, I'll be firing this thing up. I got my headers should be here. Them bad boys are on delay, man. They're FedEx people. Anyhow, I'm not even going to mess with that. Those should be here any day. Once I get those here, I'm putting those on. Get my Terminator X, and I'm wiring this thing up. And get my son over here, and we're going to fire this bad baby up and see what she do. I also got, been thinking about this, man. I bought this brand new power steering gearbox here, just a factory one with the turn ratio that comes in the factory cars. And I'm still debating, because in my '67 convertible, I bought the quick ratio steering box, man, and I love that thing. I do now, but when I first got it, it was kind of tough because that thing was tight, man. But if I turn just a little bit right, it's going right. And I don't know how this is going to work. Hopefully it's not too much play with it, and I don't like it, because then if I don't, then I'm going to be wanting to take it out and put another quick ratio in there. I just been debating whether or not I should do it now and not even wait, because once I do it, if I do it now, then I know it's just done. But if I wait, then I got fenders on, grill, and all that kind of stuff, and I can't be just crawling up under this car all like that. But anyhow, that's another thing that I got that I'm contemplating on. But anyway, I'm not gonna keep this thing going. I'm finna log off here. Hope everybody is doing good in this new year, and that you working hard on your project, getting it ready for this summer. Once the summertime hit, not even summertime, once some good weather hit, man, I'm going to get my '67 and I'm getting on the road, man. Anyhow, peace out, YouTube. See you next time.